I'll call this meeting to order, regular meeting of the Champaign County Board, Thursday, June 21st, 2007. It is 7:01. Roll call, please.
Jay.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Knott. Here. Langenheim.
Here.
McGinty.
Here.
Moline.
Here.
Mosier. O'Connor.
Here.
Putman.
Here.
Sapp. Richards.
Here.
Schrader.
Here.
Tapley. Wysocki.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Beckett.
Here.
Benzel.
Here.
Betts.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Cowart. Dinitz. Gladney.
Here.
Gross. Hogue.
Here.
Hunt.
Here.
James. Weibel.
Here, we have a quorum. Mr. Tapley informed me earlier that he would not be here tonight. The prayer tonight is by Edward Kemmes. Incidentally, the name of the prayer is Prayer for Rain. Edward Kemmes is also the sculptor who sculpted the statue in Westside Park. It seems to be appropriate for this weather. I might add some of the wording is quite Victorian. The Indian paused by the hill's wild crest, where the hemlocks throw their shade. He looked o'er the land where the burning west a river of flame had made. The suffering earth was parched and dry, neath the fierce sun's molten glare. For drought had drained rivers afar and nigh, and a thirst was everywhere. Then lo, as the menaced man on high, his arms upraised in prayer, forth came two beasts from the river bed dry, and pausing, they joined him there. The first was a panther, cruel and grim. The other was a wild deer shy, and they raised a prayer for rain with him to the Manitou on high. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would the clerk read the notice of the meeting, please?
Notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the County Board, Champaign County, Illinois, will convene on June 21st, 2007, 7 p.m. in the Lyle Childs Meeting Room, Brookins Administrative Center, 1776 East Washington Street, Urbana, Illinois, in said county for the purpose of allowing and ordering payments of claims against the county, receiving and acting upon reports of committees, and such other matters as may be brought before said meeting shall continue in session from day to day until the completion of said business.
Move approval of the notice.
Second by Mr. Langenheim. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Please note that Ms. Kohler has joined us. I'll entertain a motion to approval of the minutes of May 24, 2007.
So moved.
Regular session, the May 29, 2007 special meeting, and the June 4, 2007 special meeting minutes, which are on the addendum.
Second.
Second, moved by Mr. Betts, second by Ms. Wysocki. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The date and time of our next regular meeting is July 26, 2007 at 7 p.m. Is there any public participation?
Chairman.
Point of order. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. Entertain motion for approval of the agenda
So
and the
moved.
addendums. Moved by Mr. Betts, second by Mr. Carter. Ms. Wysocki.
I am going to ask that the two items related to the CDAP loan, which was anticipated to come out of a meeting earlier this evening, that they be dropped from the agenda. The meeting did not transpire, therefore we cannot take action on those two items.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other changes? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the date and time of the next regular meeting is Thursday, July 26, 2007 at 7 p.m. Public participation? Seeing none, we'll move on to announcement. I have one. You have a single-page memo, which is a proposal for the change in one of the county board rules, that is the infamous 10 o'clock rule change. This is strictly for your information. The change will not actually take place until next county board meeting, but actually till August, after it goes through the August policy meeting. Any other announcements? Ms. Wysocki.
At your desks, you will find a notice there from the Illinois EPA, and I want to summarize this for the benefit of those watching these proceedings on television. In a nutshell, Kraft Food Company has requested that the Illinois EPA renew the federally enforceable state operating permit regarding the quality of air at its manufacturing plant at 1701 West Bradley Avenue in Champaign. The Illinois EPA has reviewed the application and made a preliminary determination that it meets the standards for issuance and has prepared a draft permit for public review and comment. The Illinois EPA will accept written comments on the draft permit. But comments must be postmarked by midnight, July 16th, 2007. If there is sufficient interest, it would probably trigger a public hearing to that effect, and all of that, of course, will be arranged at a future time. The letters, the written comments can be addressed to Mr. Brad Frost, Division of Air Pollution Control, Illinois EPA, Box 19506, Springfield, Illinois 62794.
Thank you, Ms. Wysocki. Any other announcements? Ms. Putman.
This is a communication. I know we all receive many letters that are to 27 county board members, but I'd like to share one letter that was addressed to me. It's from a constituent, Ed Barstow, who I got to know very well when his wife, who recently, eventually passed away, but she was a resident of our nursing home, and Ed was a regular visitor there. But he writes, "Today I had the excellent services of Victoria Christensen and Tessa Edmond of Senior Services, Champaign County. They did a wonderful job helping me with my Illinois Senior RX drug program. Also gave assistance with my many disability problems, plus follow-up. I will be 90 years old June 17th, and my struggles to keep independent in my own apartment are a daily chore. But I have help from Senior Services of Champaign County." So it was a lovely letter to receive, and of course I'll see that Vic Christensen and Tessa Edmond have a copy of it. The kind of letter we'd like keep in mind when it comes time for our annual employee recognition event. So I thank Mr. Barstow for writing and wanted to share that with you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Mr. Mosier?
South end of the county didn't share in the rain, and they still need it pretty desperately.
Well, I'm glad I picked that prayer for tonight then. Okay, let's move on to the consent agenda. Are there any items that board members wish to take off the agenda? Mr. Beckett?
I move the consent agenda.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mosier. Roll call.
Jay?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Knott?
Yes.
Langenheim? McGinty?
Yes.
Moline? Mosier?
Yes.
O'Connor?
Yes.
Putman?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
Schrader?
Yes.
Wysocki?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Beckett?
Yes.
Benzel?
Yes.
Betts?
Yes.
Carter?
Yes.
Cowart?
Yeah.
Gladney?
Yes.
Gross? Hoag? Hunt?
Yes.
James? Wybo?
Yes. Motion carries. Justice and Social Services Committee. Ms. Anderson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. We did have a committee meeting, but we have 6 items that need to be taken care of. The first is adoption of Resolution Number 6009, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Champaign, the City of Urbana for the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, the JAG program, and I so move.
Second by Ms. Hoag. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
The second is adoption of resolution number 6010, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between Champaign County and St. Joseph Ogden High School District number 305, St. Joseph Grade School District number 169, Fisher Unit School District number 1, and Prairie View Ogden Grade School District number 197 for the School Resource Officer Program. And I so move.
Second by Mr. Beckett. Discussion. Ms. Anderson?
I might just comment that it's my understanding that we have been providing these services, but now we will be receiving some payment if we pass this from those districts for the agreement.
Okay. Ms. Hoag? Use the microphone, please.
Sorry. What is a school resource officer?
Perhaps the sheriff can answer that
Yeah,
question.
Sheriff Walsh is here. Maybe he could get a better...
Sheriff right behind you, yeah.
That is an individual deputy who's assigned to work in the school district the 9 months that the school is in session. That is almost their only responsibility. It's everything from education to law enforcement to security. They try to establish friendly relations with the kids where they'll trust them, and they do come to them with different problems and issues.
Mr. Benzel?
One of these officers, as you can see, is in the St. Joe School District where my son just graduated from. They do a tremendous job. They put on a good public face for the community. They establish great relationships between the students and the sheriff's office. And at post-prom, I seen our sheriff out there handle a situation just very, very well that could have got out of hand, and she controlled it and got everything taken care of. So they're much appreciated and do a great job for us out there.
And what Ms. Anderson said was correct. This was first funded with federal grants for 3 and a half, 4 years. The last few years I've been funding it out of my budget. We went to the schools and said, we think it's about time you guys kick in a big chunk of it, and they both agreed to it. It's primarily with St. Joe, and the next one is Unity. The other schools, it's a small amount of time spent there.
Ms. Putman?
I don't have children, and I'm not very close to what happens in our public schools. So the services of the student resource officer are not something I was personally familiar with. However, I noticed a feature in the June 10th Sunday News Gazette. The headline is Precious Resources, and it's a feature that goes on for quite a few column inches. I don't expect people to read it now as I pass it around, but it offers a glowing commendation of the program as it has worked so far. I know there are people who prefer to not have uniformed, perhaps gun-carrying officers in schools. I don't know if these officers will be armed. I have heard nothing from constituents of any district of the county who have contacted me in opposition to the program. The one question I have, Sheriff, I know the SROs will be Champaign County Sheriff employees. I'm curious as to what the recruitment and employment process is. Do you advertise or announce that an opening is available for this unique kind of sheriff's work, or do you find people who are among your staff already and steer them toward this particular job?
These are already existing deputies that expressed an interest in it, and then we send them to training. We have about 10 specialty deputy positions, and these are 2 of them. But they're existing deputies. If one of these were to leave or get tired of the program, we'd recruit from our existing deputies, not the general public.
Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. The third item is adoption of resolution number 6011, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between Champaign County, the Champaign County Sheriff's Office, Tolona Community School District number 7 and Heritage Community School District number 8 for the School Resource Officer Program, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Ms. Putnam. Sheriff, I assume this is a similar contract?
Exactly.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
There are 3 more items, but they are related, and Sheriff Walsh informed me just before the meeting that if one wouldn't pass, then the others we would have difficulty with.
I suggest an omnibus motion.
So I'm suggesting that I move them all together, okay? I move adoption of resolution number 6059, authorizing an amendment to the agreement for inmate mental health services between Champaign County and Health Professionals, Ltd., and adoption of resolution number 6062, authorizing an amendment and addendum to the agreement for provision of health services at the Champaign County Juvenile Detention Center between Champaign County and Health Professionals, Ltd., and adoption of resolution number 6063, authorizing an amendment and addendum to the agreement for provision of inmate health services at the Champaign County Adult Correctional Center and Satellite Jail between Champaign County and Health Professionals, Ltd.
Second by Mr. Knott. Discussion. Mr. Beckett.
Sheriff, I saw that in the media, the story regarding the fatality at the Satellite Jail, and I assumed that it was related to medical, in some way related to medical services that would have been provided under these contracts. Is that true or not true?
That is true.
What is the status? How do we work with these people and undergo any sort of inquiry or investigation into the circumstances surrounding that fatality?
Presently, the state police are still doing looking into it for us. We've started our own tangential, I guess I'll call it, because I don't want to interfere with their primary people they have to talk to. And then the medical director for health professionals is also looking into it. Plus, I suppose the coroner will. But so there's several different things going on at the same time.
Is there language in the contractual agreements with healthcare professionals that address their required cooperation in this kind of situation?
Ms. McGrath is shaking her head yes. In the couple of years we've had these people, they have been some of the most agreeable people I've ever had to deal with. There's stuff they do for us that's nowhere in the contract, and they did come down and meet with us right after this. I think they do a pretty darn good job, and this is their specialty. They don't, unlike some other people, they don't provide health care. They're just at jails and prisons.
Further discussion? Ms. Putnam.
Now, this was just at our desks tonight, correct? Okay, so I have not read, other than knowing that it's an amendment, I haven't taken in what the meaning of the amendment is. It has to do with, I think, the annual compensation.
Wait, what?
Can I address that?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Walsh.
What it is, they agreed with me if we would go with both contracts and for a 3-year period, that there would be a 2% increase this coming year, a 3% increase the next year, and a 3.3% increase the following year, which is certainly a lot less than the rate of inflation or the cost of living for medical care. The only other 2 differences in there, we are now going to contract with them to get rid of our bio-waste hazard. We are doing it with a different company. This will save us $300 or $400 a year, not a whole lot, but a little bit of savings. And they, as I said, they do stuff for us that's not in the contract. They put some of that stuff in the contract for us. I do not know any of the details about youth detention. They negotiate that directly with Mr. Gordon.
If I could say that back in my own words to make sure I understand it, this amendment has us contract with this party for these services for a 3-year period at a rate that is lower than what we could expect their costs to go up per the inflation rate.
Correct.
But that's the only thing that's different about the contract is the compensation clause.
And the bio-waste hazard they're doing.
Okay. Thank you.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And that's all that
Thank you, Ms.
Social
Anderson.
Services has. Okay.
County Facilities, Mr. Beckett.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Facilities recommends adoption of resolution number 6013 appropriating $3,110.37 from the Champaign County Nursing Home Construction Fund for invoice 12215 from the Radaman Group Limited, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Mr. Betts. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Facilities recommends adoption of resolution number 60. I'm going to do an omnibus motion if no one objects. Adoption of resolution number 6014 appropriating $13,993.93 from Champaign County Nursing Home Construction Fund for invoice number 1252089 from Dwayne Morris, and adoption of resolution number 6015 appropriating $5,583.63 from Champaign County Nursing Home Construction Fund for invoice number 1303766 from Dwayne Morris, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Mr. Betts. Discussion? Mr. Jones.
What's the detail of this, Steve? What are we paying for here?
We're paying for legal services for Dwayne Morris, who continue to represent us for proceedings related to the Illinois Health Facilities Planning Board.
So this, you can anticipate that this is going to continue into the foreseeable future?
As far as I know, until the Illinois Health Facilities Planning Board has addressed and released us from all compliance issues, we will continue to need the services of this law firm. And they have not released us yet.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Facilities recommends adoption of resolution number 6016, appropriating $10,798.68 from Nursing Home Construction Fund for invoice number 0016257 from GHR Engineers and Associates, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Mr. Betts. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Facilities recommends adoption of resolution number 6019, documenting Champaign County Board refusal of extended warranty proposal from Reliable Plumbing and Heating, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Mr. Betts. Discussion? Mr. O'Connor.
Is this something that they were going to charge us a ridiculous price for, like heating and air conditioning, health insurance, or was it, what's the deal?
It's fairly complex. I'll try to summarize the best I can. Because of the HVAC issues that we ended up having, the substantial completion date could be a point of controversy, either being July 1, 2006 or December 31, 2006. Reliable Plumbing and Heating, in essence, offered to treat it as December 31st, 2006, if we would pay them $20,000 to extend their warranty. Facilities considered this. We listened to our physical plant director, Alan Reinhardt. He basically told us this was a bad economic decision and that it was not necessary and that we should avoid the dispute. We unanimously agreed, but we put it on the full agenda because it is sort of an unusual issue. So your summary is sort of right. It's like they're wanting us to pay $20,000 for an insurance policy that we probably won't have to use, and if we did have to use it, it wouldn't cost us $20,000 anyway.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Facilities recommends adoption of resolution number 6023 approving county clerk space remodel, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Mr. Betts. Discussion? Mr. Beckett.
I just want to remark that I think I saw in the paper tonight or last night that the governor signed the legislation that makes February 5th the primary date, which of course moves all of the proceedings, including early voting, up because of that February 5th date. Our county clerk, I think, will have hands full getting ready for that election. He's indicated to us that he needs additional space. This responds to that. The county clerk has expressly approved these plans, and this will allow us to get moving on it.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
I just have a couple of facilities-related things I want to say. First of all, if you came in tonight either way, Learman or Main Street, you would see the temporary signs that indicate how you get to the nursing home on each of those locations. If you come to the nursing home T and look, you'll see signs right there that restrict parking for the nursing home parking lots to nursing home use. We did have members of the public and others who are asking us about that signage, and so we have those temporary signs in place. We'll have much more beautiful, nice signs at a point in the future when our highway department can do them. At your desk tonight, you will see floor plans of the existing Champaign County nursing home demonstrating some of the space utilization that would come into play, assuming that ILEAS is able to go forward with their proposal with us. Jim Page of ILEAS informs us he's actively involved in working with the groups that he expects to be users of the facility. The numbers I saw were that he had raised some $700,000 towards the project. I know his goal was $1 million, and he's not done yet. I don't know if we'll have a specific proposal for you in July. I think the ILEAS board meets the day after our board meeting in July. That's unfortunate because if in fact they could have the proposal, we'd have a leg up of a month to begin doing work on this before the winter heating season came upon us. But in general, you can see that the building is being divided into two zones. A more active zone, which basically represents the 71 addition, and the less active zone, which is sort of the training center usage zone. As you might expect, the HVAC for the more active zone would be, the needs for that would be much different than the HVAC and the mechanicals for the old where the training would go on. That's just here for your information. We don't have anything for you to take action on tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Record. Mr. Betts, Policy, Personnel, and Appointments.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. This evening, the matter before us, Resolution 6056, needs to be deferred. We don't have a final copy of the contract. Apparently, the party was in an automobile accident. So I would ask unanimous consent to defer this till the next meeting in July. I asked the chair to entertain
Is there any problem with deferring this till July? See none, we will do that.
Thank you. There's no further business from policy.
Thank you, Mr. Betts. Finance, Mr. McGinty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First item, Finance Committee recommends adoption of Resolution Number 6040, purchases not following purchasing policy, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Ms. Wysocki. Discussion. Ms. Moline. Microphone, please.
I have a comment about purchases not following the purchasing policy and emergency purchases, page 55. I just noticed that one of these is from November of 2006, Holiday Inn Express payment, and another one, Correctional Center Medical Service, from June 27th of 2003. And I just think that if I were someone who submitted this claim, I'd want the money sooner if I wanted a refund for a hotel expense. And also, as a teacher, I'm required to file any complaint or any bills within a very short amount of time, something like a month or 2 months. It just seems like it makes sense. It's more difficult to keep track of these things if they're dating back to 4 years ago.
Any further discussion? Ms. Putman? I'm sure he would. Turn on mic, please. On top.
Is that better? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree completely, and I don't understand why vendors wouldn't want their money sooner, and I don't understand why employees wouldn't, but sometimes stuff happens, and the reason it's on the list tonight is because we have a policy that says we're supposed to get this stuff sooner, and it's up for board approval. You know, at Finance, another issue on the report was an emergency purchase for traffic signs. Mr. Tapley had asked a question about that at Finance, and apparently it was the Highway Department routinely has to replace traffic signs in the county as they're taken down by storms or kids or whatever. And they realized when they needed to replace stop signs that they had run out. And so Mr. Tapley had asked what the emergency for traffic signs was, and actually stop signs is a pretty serious thing to be without. So just wanted to report that to the board.
Go ahead.